Hi everybody, this is Justina with JustynaThandMade. This video it's gonna be a little different than my usual videos because I'm making this project to even see myself how my new fabric design looks on a pouch. If you are a member of my Facebook group or follow me on Instagram, you probably already know that I released my first set of fabric designs on spoon flower, and this is the first project I'm making using my own design just to see how it looks like, to share it with you. We can together decide what we think. So as you can see, I'm recording this intro after I finished the project, and I think it came out super cute. This is made out of this print, the strawberries. Obviously that's available on Spoonflower in my design shop. I purchased it as a woven cotton. If you like something more stiffer, you can choose a different kind of fabric, as this Spoonflower offers you customized fabric choices for the prints. I use this woven cotton myself, and I lined it with Sew Fuse Plus, and it came out nice. It has the stiffness I would expect from a pouch like this. Also, you may be familiar with this pattern. This is the Dahlia zipper pouch. The full lengthy and detailed sewing tutorial is already on my channel. It's linked also in the description of this video. I think it's a cute little shape, so I chose this pattern for this cute little strawberries design. So in case you didn't catch any of my videos and posts about the fabrics, I'm just gonna present them to you really quick. So those are all 9 fabrics that are now available in my shop on Spoonflower. There will be more coming shortly, I hope. So we have this flower arrangement. We have a different version of the strawberries with a little daisies, which is a little bit of a bigger scale. I have my first Halloween print as well, with the little ghost and a pumpkin. A cute night glowing moth with the night sky. Flower hearts design on the green background. A flower composition on a navy background. Here's another flower design on the oggy shape on the very dark green background, and a cute smaller scale of the flat flowers design in very cheerful colors on the light yellow background. I hope you're gonna visit my Spoonflower site, and that you're gonna find something you like. Please make sure to follow so you're not gonna miss any new upcoming designs coming out soon. If you came across my channel for the first time, please make sure to subscribe if you like this video, so you're not gonna miss any upcoming videos. And if you do enjoy this tutorial, give the video a thumbs up and leave a comment. That really helps spread the news about existence of my channel. And now if you want to see how I created this Dahlia zipper pouch using my strawberry print fabric, please keep watching. Here are all my pattern pieces and supplies. You don't really need much, just your pattern pieces, which here I cut my pattern pieces out of my new fabric design. So I have 2 outer panels, and I interface them with Sew Fuse Plus. Then I have my 2 lining panels cut out of the nylon ripstock. 2 bottom parts of the lining cut out of the same fabric, my bottom parts of my outer panels, and those are cut out of vinyl. And I have my zipper pull and my zipper tape, and this is basically everything you need. Obviously you still need some threads. As always, I'm gonna be using the Gutenman Mera 70 thread. You can use really any thread you have on hand. We are not making anything that would have to fight against any heavy load, so really any thread you have should be good to go. So like I said, this is going to be a little bit of a quicker video, because the full detailed tutorial for this Dahlia pouch is already on my channel. I will link it in the description. This video, I just want to show you how I utilize the cute strawberry print design to make the pouch, and we'll see how the final product looks like. You probably already did on the intro of the video, but here I'm on the beginning of my project. To start, we're gonna baste our zipper to our outer panels. So let's put everything else to the side. I have my zipper that I roughly cut. All the measurements, obviously all the pattern pieces templates are provided. Now we're gonna start attaching our zipper along the curved edge of our outer panels. So just make sure it's somewhat centered, and start pinning or clipping it along the edge, making sure your coils are the right side of the zipper, so the coil side of the zipper is facing the right side of your fabric. After we have the zipper clipped along the curved edge, we're gonna take it to the machine and we're gonna baste it with the 1/8 of an inch seam allowance and 3.5 stitch length. Now that my zipper is attached to one of the outer panels, I'm gonna baste it to the second one. So we just want to make sure that both panels are right sides together, and that we are using the same amount of zipper. So I like to start from the bottom edge and make sure to align my edges, and then pin the zipper tape all around. When we have the second panel clipped, we're gonna now just give it a check, make sure that the tape is used at the same length. If everything looks good, you can now split the tape, leave the panel that already have the zipper based, and take the other panel that we just clipped and baste the zipper on with the 1/8 of an inch seam allowance and 3.5 stitch length. Now that you have your zipper base to both outer panels of your pouch, we're gonna now attach our lining. So you're gonna take again your upper panels of the lining, make sure that the outers and the lining is right sides together, and pin along the curved edge. When you have both panels prepped like this, you're gonna take them to the machine and you're gonna sew along the zipper edge with the 1/4 of an inch seam allowance and 3.5 stitch length. Now that we have our lining sewn into our outers, we're gonna flip it right side out. You're gonna pull the zipper nicely and you're gonna pull those corners. If you feel like your corners or your little round parts are not folding down nicely, you can make a snips to help the fabric lie better. And now turn the project right side out. That should help those round corners to turn out easier. Finger press it. Repeat that with the second panel. And when you have both panels prepped like this, if you want to, you can take it to the ironing board and give it a press so it's set nicely. Mine, it seems to be okay with just a hand press. When you have that done, you're gonna take your project back to the machine and you're gonna top stitch along these edges on both panels with the 1/8 of an inch seam allowance and 3.5 stitch length. Now that we have both top stitched, we're gonna now connect our panels with the zipper pull. So you're gonna place both right sides together, making sure that the bottoms align. You can clip it so it doesn't shift. And now you're gonna insert your zipper pull the way you want it to work. So just give a nice look on your panels, see which one you think looks better, that make that the front panel, and then insert your zipper pull. I'm gonna insert it from the right to the left, so my pouch will close and the zipper pull gonna be on the left side when the pouch is closed. We're gonna pull the zipper all the way through, give it a nice look, make sure everything is looking straight. I guess mine is a little bit off, so I'm gonna redo it. All right, now we are looking nice and straight. So when we have that done, we're gonna put that aside and we're gonna work on our bottom panels, on the lining and the outers. So we're gonna place the outers wrong sides together, clip them along the side edges. Do the same with the lining. My lining is kind of the same on both sides, but just let's make sure they're right sides together. And when you have that done, you're gonna take both to the machine and you're gonna sew along those edges with the 3/8 of an inch seam allowance, and you can use 3.5 or 2.5 stitch length, whatever suits you better. And just make sure we're gonna back stitch well on the beginning and on the end of the seam, because those parts will have some tension to it when we move to the next step. So take your project to the machine and sew those small side edges together on the lining and on the outer panel. Now that we have prepped our bottom portion of the pouch, we have to now make sure that we have our zipper pull on. I'm gonna place it about halfway through, and now I'm gonna take my outer panel and I'm gonna make sure that I'm placing the lining, the vinyl lower panel right sides together with my prepped top. Actually, we can now trim our X-axis zipper. That's gonna make it easier on us. Making sure that this bottom edge is on the bottom and you are aligning the top edge, so the smaller edge, with your project. You're gonna pin or clip the panels together. First, we're gonna start with the side, so we wanna align our side seam with the zipper. And then we're gonna pin everything all around. When you have your project prepped like this, you're gonna take it to the machine and you're gonna sew all 3 layers together. So you wanna make sure you are catching the lining as well. And we're gonna be basting the outer bottom panel to our project. So we're gonna be sewing with the 1/8 of an inch seam allowance and 3.5 stitch length. Now that our outer is based to our top part of our pouch, and I did pretty good job because I cut the lining all around. But if it just happened that you didn't cut the lining all the way around, don't worry about it. We're gonna do it when we attach our lining portion of the project. So now, as you probably anticipate, we're gonna attach our lining to our pouch. To do that, we're gonna flip the project lining side out. Now we're gonna place our pouch inside of our lining, so make sure they are right sides together, and we're gonna do the same. So we're gonna start clipping the lining where the zipper is, because that's our halfway reference. And now we're gonna take our project back to the machine and we're gonna sew the lining on. What I recommend is to sewing from the inside. It's actually easier because you can just hold this side up and sew. This way you have a little more control on how your seam looks like on the outside part of your project. So if you need to straighten any peckers, you can do it, because you're gonna be seeing it as you sew, instead of sewing this way on the lining side, which you're not gonna have the visibility of the outer part of your project. So now that we have our project prep like this, we're gonna take it to the machine and we're gonna sew all around with the 3/8, or if you are comfortable, you can make the seam allowance 1/4 of an inch and 2.5 or 3.5 stitch length, whatever you like to use. Now that the lining is sewn in, we're gonna turn our project right side out. Make sure your lining is pulled down. Pull everything down, make sure everything looks nice. And since I'm using vinyl, I can't really take it to the ironing board and iron it, but it seems to be aligning pretty well without that. So I just want to pin the lining and the outers together, so I know they're gonna stay nice and flat. And when I have that prepped, I'm gonna take the project back to the machine and I'm gonna top stitch all around on the vinyl side of my project with the 1/8 of an inch seam allowance and 3.5 stitch length. If you are using fabric that lies pretty nice, or it's a waterproof canvas, or it's all cotton, and you can nicely press your project, and top stitching all around your pouch makes you nervous, you can skip that. Step. It's gonna give the project a little stability between the panels, but it's not necessary for the construction of the pouch. So I'm gonna do it because I'm making instructions, but if you're using something that can be nicely pressed, I wouldn't worry about it if it makes you stressful to top stitch all around your pouch. So if you are top stitching, just take the project to the machine and top stitch all around. If not, give the project a nice press. If you are not using a fabric that will be damaged by the heat of the iron. Now that our panel is top stitched, now we're gonna create our bottom seams. So you want to fold your top panel, flip your outer out, and we're gonna clip the bottom edge together. On the lining, we want to make sure that we're gonna leave a opening for our turning hole, and when we have our project prepped like this, we're gonna take it to the machine and we're gonna sew along those two edges with the 3/8 of an inch seam allowance and 3.5 stitch length. Here you're gonna sew all the way through, and on the lining we're just gonna sew those portions leaving our opening unsewn. So take your project to the machine and sew the bottoms together. Now that our bottoms are sewn, we're gonna box our corners. So take your open corners and clip together, aligning the seams. And when you have that done, you're gonna take your project back to the machine and you're gonna sew all your corners. You can sew it with the 3/8 of an inch seam allowance or 1/4 of a seam allowance. Just make sure to back stitch well on the beginning and on the end of each seam. Now that we have our box corners done, you can trim the seam allowance if you like on the outer panels, especially because that part is a little more stiff. And now turn your project right side out. So first I'm gonna try to pull everything on the lining side of my project. Open my zipper, turn the project right side out. Zip my zipper, make sure everything is looking good. It definitely needs some good press after all this squishing, but I think it's looking good. So now that we have that checked, we can now finish up our lining. So you can just flip those upper panels down, pull your lining, make sure the raw edges are folding inside. You have this clipped like this. Take it to the machine and sew along the opening with the 1/8 of an inch seam allowance or 1/16 of an inch if you are comfortable doing that, to close the turning hole in the bottom of your lining. And now our project is completed. I hope you enjoyed this quicker tutorial for the Dahlia zipper pouch. The full detailed tutorial is linked in the description of this video if you need a little more help. I hope you like how the fabric came out. I think it's super cute, and I think it's a perfect size print for a pouch this size as well. I hope you share my opinion about it, and if you do, please make sure to check out my fabric design store on Spoonflower. The link is also in the description of this video. Don't forget to subscribe and give the video a like, and if you have any questions or would like to get in touch with me, please leave a comment. Till the next time.